Internet. Hi. It's time for Popcorn Chicken. We're going to talk about Last of Us Part 6. Yeah, I think. So grab a drink, grab some popcorn, and or some chicken. And we're going to talk about some sad stuff.
Sad stuff indeed.
It just keeps coming. Like a lot of shows will do heavy subjects and like they'll try and tug at your heartstrings, but they'll either do that once and then they'll go to something else, or they'll just keep doing the same thing. And you're like, okay, I get it. He almost died. But this one's just like, hey, here's this heavy subject. Hey, here's a different one. Hey, here's another one. Here's another one. And you're like,
Yeah, no, this is relentless. Yeah.
yeah.
They should, if I was Kleenex, I would make sure I would put my commercials before and before and after.
Brand deal with them.
Yeah, just like, hey, HBO, before and after the show, have our commercials running.
You know how they have like the following program is made for a mature audience. It contains scenes of gore, violence, sexuality, nudity, blah blah blah. They should just be like, the following program is made for a mature audience. You'll probably cry your fucking eyes out.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Episode 6. We're getting to the other side of the chapters of this. It's coming to an end very soon, which is a downer in a way because we don't know when they're going to have the next season out. Right? They haven't. They haven't even started filming.
I don't think so. No.
And so, which makes me believe that it's going to be at least 2 years away before we even see.
HBO tends to do that. They'll wait till it's out. Kind of.
No, but they've already they renewed it before the show even came out.
Yeah, but I mean, HBO's almost never in a rush to get the second season out, as far as I remember. Yeah. They're going to take their time, like, especially with a new show. They'll put the first season out, and then like 3 or 4 years later, be like, "All right, here's season 2," and you're like, "Bah!"
Yeah.
Because what do they have coming out? Like, what is HBO doing after this?
I'm not sure. Because House of Dragons is still another year away.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing after this in terms of big shows.
Woodstock 99. No, that's the True Detective.
True Detective is pretty big.
Yeah. White House Plumbers.
No, that's Super Mario.
Kitschy. Hacks. And just like that. Gilded Age, Succession, The Idol, the other two, Love and Death, the Black Lady Sketch Show, and that's it. So nothing that is like wowing people, I don't think. Mm-hmm. Oh, hey, Viper. What up?
So I played a little bit of the game. I'm still behind right now.
Yeah, where you at?
Good question. I can't remember. I'm still with Bill. So okay. I haven't the last time I mentioned about it is that's where I'm still at because I haven't had a chance. I've been super busy. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna play it tomorrow. I have some free time tomorrow.
Nice.
Play it and hoping that I can get at least an hour in. I think
you better finish that game quick because March is coming, and that's going to be probably one of the busiest months for video games. Because we got,
the crazy thing is, I've got the Harry Potter game still.
Yeah,
I played about an hour of it. I love it already. It's fantastic. I've got friends who's probably spent 30, 40 hours in it already. If not more. March is a busy month for me because I might be traveling for about a week. I'm gonna get destroyed. I'm taking my portable rig, the Steam Deck. So I'm gonna take that. So I'll get some time in there.
I lied. March isn't gonna be anything.
May.
Well, May is when Zelda comes out.
So does the what do you call it? Or did they delay it? The Star Wars game.
That one's coming out in April.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. You think they would have put it in May and just put it on May the 4th?
It writes itself.
And it's coming out like the end of the month, the 28th. Like, just delay it a
I
week,
know, like
and you got free promotion there.
in the world where we were used to having 6-8 month delays,
Yeah.
what's 6 days?
Yeah, exactly.
So yo, let's get into this thing before we start
Mhm.
going on gaming here. Um, did you hear about the oopsie in one of the scenes when they showed
No.
oh, so you know how every once in a while a show will forget to move something out of the way.
They'll leave a Starbucks cup in Game of
Starbucks cup, or
Thrones.
somebody's hiding by the door or something to see a hand or a leg.
Yeah, you see like a grip in the background or something. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I can pull it up here, I'll put it up. If I can get a picture of it. There it is.
No, I did not hear about this.
Share screen. So there is a panoramic or an overhead aerial view of the bridge.
Okay.
With snow.
In this episode?
Yeah, in this episode, snow
Okay.
capped. Well, they forgot to tell this person here, right there, this person to get out of the frame. And there's also a dog and some other gear here. There's more people hiding underneath this tree here.
Yeah.
So this is the crew here.
That's like whoever's flying the drone.
Yeah, so this is the crew here.
That's funny. I mean, it's kind of inconspicuous.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't notice it. Like, I didn't notice it.
No, but I guess if it is a barren wasteland where there are no people and you see people, then you're like, hey, hey.
So I thought I'd bring that up.
That's funny.
So in the game, I know that there is no snow cap situation
yet
in this scene yet. Because in this scene, it's not. So what I heard is the reason why they did this is to kind of give it that, because from the time, because they replayed that scene again where they shot each other, or he shot himself. What's his name? The gentleman.
No.
And so they.
Oh no, the brothers.
Yeah. So in the beginning of this episode, they replayed that scene again.
Yeah.
And then they did a 3-month time gap.
Yeah.
Forward. And so what I heard was the reason why they made it into a snowy, wintry scene
was because they were shooting in Alberta and it's always fucking snowing.
Well, that obviously had a big play in it, but they wanted to give you that actual experience of moving forward in the season, right?
Yeah.
So they did that, which I thought actually was even better than the game. To be honest with you, I like this. I love seasonal changes in a show.
Yeah, and it was clear that like, okay, some time has passed.
Yeah, so I really like that for the show, and I think it was really cool because they go to this cabin, and you know, you see a guy basically hanging some rabbits, goes inside this cabin, and then you see the wife sitting there on the rocking chair, and then she kind of gives him the side eye, like, and then obviously, you know, Ellie and Joel are there.
Yeah.
And basically this guy's like, what the hell, right? Like, he's like looking at his wife going, how could you not prevent these people from coming to our house? We've been only living here alone for a long time, right?
Do you recognize that actor?
No, I do not.
It's Tachanka from Dances with Wolves.
The gentleman?
Yeah.
Oh, he hasn't been dancing in a while.
Well, he might be able to dance. His wife, maybe not so much. She seems pretty comfy in that lazy boy.
But hey, I mean, he's a survivor. He's surviving out there in the wilderness himself.
That's true.
So what do I know, right? I mean, this guy is basically living there with his wife and he mentions it here, which is a cool thing, is that they got lucky. Like, she's like, I didn't want to be out here. He dragged me out here, and by luck, that was the best decision they made, because the clickers and all these guys, what's the name for them? Infected.
Yeah.
They aren't out there in the wilderness. They are all within the city confines, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, and I like the fact that Joel right away says, I'm just here to get some advice and I'm on my way out.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
None of this is in the game.
Yeah,
This is
exactly.
like at all.
Yeah.
They get to the compound or whatever. Then they get let in. Then they meet the brother, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So like, pretty much everything in this episode's new. Apart from like a couple little parts here, and also too, there's a hint at. Hold on, I just heard like a raccoon or something get fucking annihilated outside. Anyway, so there's a hint at a character that's in the second game. We see it. We see a thing, and people on the internet are being like, "Oh, that's that girl from the second game that hangs out with Lily and stuff."
Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah.
Yeah. Bam. A lot of the story beats are completely new in this, which is awesome. As someone who's
So that's what I was going to ask you, because you've played the game and you finished it.
Mhm.
These from the beginning of the show, well, basically the cabin, to the part where he meets Tommy. This is
Yep.
all new. In your opinion, do you think this is an improvement on the game, or do you think it doesn't really matter?
I think it is a good companion to the game, because most of the things that they've done new are fleshing out things in the game that you already know. So you already know about this town more or less from the game.
Yeah.
And you meet Tommy, and you meet his wife and whatever, but that's like it's a video game. So you're like, all right, where's the next quick time event, or dude, I got to fucking hit with a brick, or tunnel, I need to loot, I need to upgrade my guns. So you're just like, yeah, okay, whatever, people. Anyway, and there are a lot of like notebooks and like sheets of paper and news clippings and collectibles and stuff like that you can find to add more to the lore, but most of that's optional. So when they take the time to be like, we're going to tell this story, and it's just like, this is cool, because like I'm vaguely familiar with these characters, but now you're making me care about them, as opposed to just being, all right, here's checkpoint number 2. Oh, we met the brother. Okay, cool. But like when you meet the brother in the game, like you don't give a shit. You're just like, oh, cool, Tommy's here. Anyway, next part of the story. Where am I going to go next? And in this, it's so much more intense and meaningful, and even
well, the title is called Kin.
Yeah.
Right.
And even in the cabin, like there's little dialogue things, some which is taken from the game, but a lot of them are expanded upon, and it's showing that kinship that is brewing between Joel and Ellie. And also too, he has another panic attack. That's also not in the game. But that's the Neil Druckmann and the writers of this show showing, because in the game you control Joel, so you are pushing the narrative forward, and you're doing all these horrible acts, and you're murdering people and going through scary tunnels and shit and whatever, and it doesn't affect you because it's a video game. But here you're seeing like this dude's like in his 50s and has been living in this shit for 20 plus years, and he's already had a shitty life to begin with.
Yeah.
So I mean, or whatever, probably did. And then he spent 20 years, and now he's having panic attacks. It's just like, yeah, this guy's probably going to die by 60 due to 10 triple, quadruple, quintuple bypasses, and just have a heart attack, and his brain's going to fucking explode.
Yeah.
So it's a cool writing piece just to be like, this is how this takes a toll on a human being. And you're just like, fuck. Because like in every other like apocalypse show, they're like, whatever, I'm a man, I got guns and a beard, fuck you. And then and that's it.
Chainsaws and axe.
Yeah, chainsaws, blood, that's my breakfast. But like this is showing, it's like a hardened dude has a panic attack because he's a human.
Yeah, and I think the gravity of the situation, like the weight, he's starting to feel the weight of this, like he's starting to realize how important this quest, if you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I feel that's what's giving these panic attacks. or it's adding to it. He's starting to realize, okay, like this cargo that I call a cargo,
Yeah.
it's becoming more important as he moves further or closer to his brother,
Mhm.
because he wants to unload the cargo. He thinks that's going to help him probably. He feels that will lift the weight off his shoulders. And so going, to this cabin, finding out when the guy says to him, like, hey, this side of the river, don't go there, or this is a bad area, right?
Mhm.
He doesn't care. He's just like, I don't care. Just tell me where I can find my brother. By the
Yeah.
way, they're in Wyoming, I believe, right?
Yeah. I do like the line, like, all right, where on this map are we? He's like, how are you lost? You got a map.
It's so I love the banter there. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. So they basically follow this trail and they go to this. Is it a dam? A
Yeah.
big dam, right?
Yeah.
And I know in the game that's where he meets his brother Tommy and
Yeah.
all that stuff. But they go see the dam and then the lakes there, and it's so eerie. Like that they're walking to this cold area, and it's so eerie. And they're waiting for this big area where we shouldn't be going, right? They
Mhm.
don't really get to that. They don't even see that. Then all of a sudden, they get surrounded by a bunch of riders on
Yep.
horses. And
So get surrounded by the riders of Rohan.
I was just gonna say that. That's crazy you mentioned that. Get surrounded by them, and
Then
obviously
they bring up.
they're very defensive because they've got,
Yeah.
we find out why. But they have a dog.
Yeah.
Cujo comes out of nowhere. Um, and Cujo's job, I don't know how they trained him, but
What was it? The loneliest hobo or the
yeah, I love watching that one.
the littlest hobo?
The littlest of it, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways,
There's a voice keeps on calling me.
don't do that. I'll have tears back. Oh no, don't you break out that guitar.
I'm pretty sure I can figure out the theme to that pretty quick.
So this dog's job is to sniff out if anyone's infected.
Yeah.
So Joel.
So also not in the game.
Yeah.
So this shit scared the hell out of me because like up until this point, none of this is in the game. So at this point, I have no idea. Like anytime something bad happens or like a major story beat where somebody's in trouble or whatever, I'm just like, okay, they're gonna die. Yeah, they die. They die. Oh, they died. Okay. Oh, wow, they did this really well. Okay. Wow. Oh, well, but they died. But this was just like,
you know what I thought? Because I saw Joel just basically freaking out, and you could see him just like terrified.
He freezes. Yeah.
I thought he was gonna make a run for it.
Yeah.
And just like tackle one of the guys or
something. Yeah. I thought he was gonna do some John Wick shit. Absolutely.
Yeah. Right. I thought he was gonna make a run for it, but then the dog basically starts licking Ellie.
Mm-hmm.
So what I gathered was the reason why
they have a shitty dog.
What I gathered
is fired now.
She's not really infected. She just has an infection that was basically cured inside her.
Yeah, so she's no longer infected. Yeah. So her antibodies fight and kill it.
It's taken over.
Yeah.
Basically, she's immune now. So that's why the dog just like, I don't smell anything. And,
there's no infection.
Give me treats, motherfuckers.
Yeah, and there's that thing too. Like, there's dogs that can smell cancer and smell disease and stuff. So, to the dog, it was just like, yeah, there's nothing wrong with her.
Yeah,
she gives good head pats.
Yeah, she's good. She checks out really well.
Yep. Got little hands to get in the ear pocket. We're good.
So I think now Joel, more than ever, is convinced that this cargo is really precious. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, it's becoming more clear to him now how important she really is.
Well, because at this point he's seen her been bit twice, and now they have a mushroom sniffing dog, and he's like, okay, yeah, there's this.
That's legit, yeah.
Yeah, because at first he was just like, whatever, it's a job. I don't give a shit if she actually has a cure or whatever. And now he's seen firsthand, like, Yeah.
It was also interesting. So prior to this, they were camping out in the stars,
Hmm.
and it was interesting how she comes forward and says to him, "Hey, listen, I knew the kid was infected. I smeared my
Yeah.
blood on his wound,
Yeah.
and it didn't help." And Joel's like, "When me and you we talked about this. That's not how science works."
Yeah.
And basically, that's what he said. He's like, "That's not how it works, right?"
Hmm.
Um, so I think that kind of made her feel a little bit better. Like she's like, "Oh, okay, me just putting blood on somebody is not going to cure them, but I have something inside me that's still of value."
Yeah.
Because she was doubting herself about, am I really someone that can help mankind, or am I just lucky?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, as we talked about last week, um, that was in that episode. You see, like the last bit of like child innocence in her die, and that's why she was so. She's been tackled and fucking run through monsters constantly, and like holds a gun out, stabs a motherfucker, like does not care. But like when he tackles her and then gets shot, and she is broken because she's like, I thought, like she had that child's whimsical, like, oh, I've got magic in me. I'm the cure. I could fix everything. I'm the solution, whatever. And then she tries it and it doesn't fucking work. And then she's just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And it was not so simple as just like, I have the cure. There we go. Oh, it didn't work. Well, what now? Like, fuck, I don't know. And so then her like admitting that to Joel and him, how he reacted to it was awesome too, because he's just like he had to take it in for a bit because he thought, oh, he just was infected and then he jumped on you and oh shit, that was terrible. But he's like, you knew you tried to do this and it didn't work, and then he's just like, well, it's more complicated than that. Like, and that point too is like, I'm not just bringing cargo. Like, I need to bring you to the proper experts because it's not as simple as just my blood antibodies. Boom,
Yeah.
I'm a vaccine. It's like now I can't just like, hey, fireflies, here you go. I have to be like, hey, fireflies, do you have scientists? No, fuck. Okay, where do I go now? Oops. I just kick flipped my phone off of my desk.
Well, you can retrieve your phone while I talk about the
No,
next
no,
one.
no. I don't need my phone.
Okay. But yeah, I mean, this is like it's gone from a cargo now to a vital part of mankind. He's
Yeah.
basically escorting.
Yeah.
Right. And so yeah, after the dog sniffs and everything is all honky dory, he's like, I'm looking for my brother Tommy, and then obviously forward comes in a female who's basically covered up from the face down or nose down, and basically says, "Well,
What's your name?"
and then she recognizes because obviously,
Because he says his name. He was like, "My
yeah,
name's Joel.
Joel,
Looking for my brother Tommy." And then
Tommy,
she's like, "Yo, wait. What's your full name?"
yeah, and then so you see them heading back to this massive compound, which
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure is Jasper.
Sure.
I recognize some of the. I mean, it could be anywhere in Jasper area, but
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's the town of Jasper.
Is that in Alberta?
Yeah.
Okay. It's near the border though, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you could say it's on both sides
Like
if you
the
wanted to.
Kootenays, like East BC and like a lot of small Alberta, I always get mixed up.
Whatever it is, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sure it's not even Jasper. Somebody from Edmonton's going to message us and say,
No, they shot all around Alberta too.
No,
Like,
no,
it
I know,
wasn't
but
just Edmonton.
someone's gonna message me saying it's not Jasper, you moron. It's somewhere else. But anyways,
Oh,
I went to
God.
Jasper and it reminded me of Jasper. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
So
It was Jasper-esque.
yeah, it could have been Banff for all I know. Who
Sure.
knows, right? It could be any one of those two. Beautiful places, by the way.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Banff is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been in my whole life.
And if you're listening to us and you're wondering I would definitely say go visit it if you haven't.
If you want to see blue water,
Oh
like
my god.
like Fiji or like Hawaii, or like when you think of like it's an Arctic tundra, but it's still like picturesque fucking Disney blue water. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's insane. The
If you want to see what,
turquoise to it, oh my god.
yeah. If you want to see like the movie Frozen, but in real life, you go to Banff.
That's a great way to put it. Yes.
Yeah, a bear might eat you, but fucking, it's beautiful. But hey, you gotta have a little danger.
Just sing the song, let it go. And the bear might let you go.
And a bear will eat your face.
His name is Olaf. So basically compound door opens up, and you kind of reminded me of The Walking Dead when they had these compounds.
Mm-hmm.
And it's understandable, right? You're in a post-apocalyptic world, people are gonna have compounds. Well run, by the way.
Yeah,
very well run.
communism works in small doses. I love how the two, so like I think at this point Joel learns that she is his wife or partner or whatever.
It was beautiful that when they first
see each
other, Tom, it was amazing. Joel sees Tommy, like
two hard, like beaten down men embracing and crying because they haven't seen each other in God knows how long and are happy that they're both alive was just like,
yeah. And the last time we saw as viewers was when they were in the beginning of the show going through it all.
Yeah.
We never saw anything after that 20-year gap forward, right? And so it was really cool to see them reunite. And then obviously the big shoe drops. They're having a meal. And by the way, they're just going at it with that meal.
Yeah.
Because it's their first proper meal.
Well, Joel's like, I haven't had a meal like this in a while. And then Ellie's like, I've never fucking eaten food like this. This is amazing.
And then this is the part where you see the girl and then everyone's freaking out. Everyone's freaking out. And then it's funny how Ellie is so aggressive, if that's a word. She's like, what the bleep are you looking at, right? And everyone's just like, whoa, hey, relax there. We don't talk to people like that here.
No, she's like, kids like that don't act like this. And then she was like, well, sorry, I'll be nicer.
And it's just funny because she's not
a child.
Well, she's not a child, but she's very socially awkward too, right?
Sure.
And it was just it's comical to see that. But the big shoe is where Tommy says, is it Maria? No. What's his wife's name?
That sounds about right.
He's like, this is my wife. And Joel's
because Joel's like, I would like to talk to my brother here. This is kind of a family thing. And he's like, well, she is family. And he's like, all right, good on you, boy.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
You've been busy. All right. Okay. It's and the thing is, like, he's been gone for how many? At least a couple of years.
We don't know. Yeah, they never really state.
Right? Yeah, and
I mean, well, how
it would have to be at least a year. It would have to be.
So here's the thing: they would always communicate over the radio, but from the way they make it sound, they haven't seen each other. Like, they haven't been in the same room in God knows how long.
He does mention that that's why you haven't been communicating with me in a while.
Well, he guilts him and is like, because the radio. So the stories that Joel tells to Ellie about his brother is like, and mentions a few times, is like, they used to run together. Then his brother, because what did he call him? A joiner or something? And like before, he went to the war and he was always trying to be a hero and trying to whatever. But they used to run together after the apocalypse. And then his brother fucked off to join the Fireflies. So it might have been like year 2 in the apocalypse that his brother was like, I'm going with these guys. And then he's like, okay. But then they, okay, here's the radio signal. You let me know that you're okay. So it could have been like 10 years, but they still talked on the radio. But then he just stopped talking to him after God knows how long. So it could have been a very long time.
Yeah, could have been. I believe she's knocked up as well, right?
I don't know.
She's pregnant. Why do I have that feeling that they mentioned that? But anyways,
no. They have a conversation, and he absolutely says, "Yeah, I'm going to be a dad." And then he's like, "I think I'll be a good one." And Joel's like, "We'll see." And he's like, "What the fuck does that mean?"
He could have said, "Well, at least let my daughter die."
Well,
can you imagine? That?
Well, maybe I'll be a better one than you.
Yeah. Well, let my daughter get shot.
Yeah, I do like though how they go from like the long meaningful embrace, like, oh, I haven't seen you in forever or whatever, but then immediately just go to bickering, and it's like
the brother rivalry right away.
Yeah, the rivalry was great. They absolutely felt like brothers. In the writing and in all of the dialogue.
Tommy doesn't hold back. He might be the younger brother, but yeah, he'll throw a quick jab here and there if he has to.
Yep.
Right, and he puts his brother in place real quick.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, "Hey, I've built a life here," because the next part of all this is they're trying to convince these two to stay here.
Yeah,
we all know why they can't stay here. But he can't tell them that. Well, definitely not Maria, right?
Well, yeah, nobody. And he only trusts his brother. And also, too, like, the whole point of him coming here, like, he wanted to go find his brother in the first place. And then the Firefly checkpoint was on the way. So they get to the Firefly checkpoint, and then none of them are there. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do. My brother knows fireflies, and I'm already on my way there. Okay, I guess you're coming with me. And so now he's going there with the sole purpose, and also too, like, after all the shit that they've gone through, is now doubting himself, and it's just like and now he's starting to have panic attacks. We don't know if this happened before. I think. Well, no. I think it did with his daughter getting shot, because I mean, obviously, but that might have been the first time, and maybe now he's starting to have them again. So now he's just like, I already failed once, and we see him break. We see him break down to his brother.
I hated that scene so much because every time I see that twinkle in his eye, I'm waiting for the tears to drop.
You're just like, fuck you.
I better not have twinkles in my eye right now because I got my wife sitting next to me.
Yeah,
she is probably looking at me because she knows I'm a big softie, and she's probably looking. I can see her eyes piercing.
You could feel
it that she's waiting for me to have those little teardrops too.
Yeah,
she's probably gonna make fun of me, you big softie, right? But I held it in. Dear God, I held it in.
Oh, I did not.
You didn't? You'd let it go?
God, no. Oh yeah, I always do.
Okay, it was tough, man. I'm telling you right now.
That's how you be a healthy human being.
I had to start thinking about action figures to hold it back. Happy thoughts.
Yeah.
But
yeah, he starts breaking down of just like how he, failed his daughter, and he doesn't want to do this, and he's having panic attacks, and this guy, I could have killed him. I could have. I've done this shit before, but she had to save me because I froze up. When the dog came, I froze up. I couldn't do anything. And he's just so hard on himself. And it's just like, you're a human being, and this is normal. And the fact that you've done most of this is not okay. And,
then he kind of lets the cat out of the bag, right?
Yeah.
Explains about why he's trekking across with her and why she's not a replacement for his daughter, right? He's explaining that this girl actually is a very important package.
Yeah.
And Tommy sort of like, when he does let Tommy know, Tommy sort of like
the reaction.
What was the reaction? I can't.
Well, he kind of got up and like paced a bit, and then he sat down,
he
then
didn't believe it at first, right?
No, and then he's like in her bit, and that was like 3 weeks ago or something, or like months ago or whatever. And he's like, I know this firsthand. This is not just somebody. Also, when they first run into each other, like near the beginning of the episode, and just seeing how sheltered and closed in he is, like even though this is his brother and he trusts him above all else, he's still just like, oh, how's Tess? And she's like, oh, she's good. Yeah, doing well. And I'm just like, fuck.
I know. I'm like, oh man.
Oh,
why are you lying to your brother? Because you're gonna have to tell him eventually.
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He's just like, no, it's good. I'm not dealing with this. Put that back in the bottle. Yep.
And then
Just
it all comes out. All comes out when they're drinking the bottle, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, it all comes out, and he just basically is you can really feel how
broken,
fragile is what I was gonna say. Like he's just
a
fragile piece of glass, basically.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just looking for an out. He's just tired of this. He just wants an out from this. And he convinces Tommy to take up the leg of the journey.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta get her to these guys. You gotta do it for me. You're better than I am at this. I can barely do this.
Mm-hmm.
And Tommy has a wife, has a baby on the way.
Yeah.
And he still says, I'll do it for your brother. Like, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it, right? Like, it's crazy how much Tommy respects his brother.
Yeah.
Really understands the gravity of the situation, says, okay.
Well, also, too, like, from what we've been led to believe, like, Joel was the harder one. Like, he's the one who did the dirty shit. And Tommy did it for a while, but mostly out of necessity. And from what we've gleaned a little bit from Ellie's questioning and what Joel has told Ellie, and then what Tommy has told his wife and what she's heard about Joel, like, Joel was a fucking just beast.
Yeah.
And so when he's coming to Tommy for help, being like, I can't do this anymore, Tommy's probably just like, fuck, well, if you can't, then like you must be busted. Because like I've seen you scalp a dude with your toe or something. I don't know.
like he genuinely realizes that this guy is broken down. Like he really is broken down, because he was not like that at all before.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tommy agrees to take up that. And then we also get that house scene where Ellie's there in the house.
Yeah.
After she showers and changes into some new clothing.
Yeah.
And she's looking at the fire mantle, and there's two names on there, I believe, right? One of them is Joel's daughter's birth date.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, Joel's daughter birth date, and the other one I think is the baby to come. Or the names or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because when Marie or Tommy's wife is cutting her hair, she drops that Joel had a daughter, which Ellie didn't know at this point.
Yeah.
This happens in the game too, I believe.
Yeah. So, and this is huge, because now Ellie realizes why this guy's been so bitter and just dead inside, right? Like where he didn't care about life that much.
Yep.
And why he resents her so much, because maybe she's brought up some of that. Well, not maybe, 100%. She's brought up some of that.
She's a bit of a trigger to him. Yeah.
Yeah. The trigger basically of what he had. Right? Yeah. So she is now understanding of him more.
Yeah.
So this was a good episode where she is learning about him and understanding him more, and not being, a jerk in front of him.
Yeah.
And understanding, okay, I need to like respect this man, because I'm basically bringing up this whole past of his just by being around him. Because I remind him in a way that he had
of his failures,
of his failure and his daughter, right? So I thought that was really like the that when she was cutting her hair and mentioned all that, I thought this was really an important part for her to start respecting him more
Mhm.
and not, she's still going to be allowed a big, big mouth, but at the same time, she's going to try to understand him more and respect him more
Yeah.
because of what he's gone through, right?
Yeah.
And so they basically, now the story basically, is there anything I'm missing from this? Aside from people watching movie, they had a movie night, I guess.
Yeah.
Some
Well, there were
popcorn.
two scenes where they were walking and they were like, what would you do when what's your end goal? And he's like,
Oh yeah,
be on a farm with goats.
no
Why
sheep,
goats?
sheep, sheep,
Or sheep? Yeah. He's like, cause they're quiet and they fucking do what they're told.
and they're
She's like,
not, and they're not.
gotcha. Yeah.
I knew people that own. I know people that own sheep farms. Sheep are not quiet at
No,
all.
they're not. No.
And the funny thing is, they're walking through town and they go through.
They got sheep. Yep. But I did like the bit where they're walking through and she's explaining how the town works and now she's like one of the leaders, the elected leaders or whatever, and she's explaining how the town works. And we've got these two Texan boys and she's explaining it and Joel's like, "Oh, so it's communism." And then they're like, "No, it's not." And he looks back at Tommy and he's just like, "So this is what we do. We let the commies win." And it's just like the like Tommy just like, no, it's fine. I don't. Okay, communism kind of works when it's supposed to. It's fine. Everything works. That was funny. Just the daggers he threw at Tommy when he's like, "Oh, it's communism." Oh, cool.
So basically, having convinced Tommy that to take up the next part of the journey, Ellie gets ripped of this. She hears that from the other room, which I wonder how loud were they talking, because they were whispering to each other basically. He must have been eavesdropping for sure.
Yeah, this part I didn't really get. Like, I mean, it was clear, like, oh, she heard, but there wasn't anything in the episode that was like, oh, here she is listening, or like, I had no idea that she was even close to them.
I think they should have had at least a scene where she eavesdrops on them.
Yeah, she's like leaning up against a keyhole or something. Yeah, but
anyways, she basically confronts him and goes off on him. It's like, because now she's wondering, like, I thought we were in this together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I was so, like, she's basically saying, I was so sure that we were in this together because of what we've already gone through.
Yeah.
What we've gone through and the teachings that, you installed in me so far, and how I have your back and you have my back, because they went through a lot of shit already.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so she's just pissed that he's bailing on her.
Yeah.
Right. And she just basically said, you know what? Whatever. Like, I guess I have to do this on my own, or kind of thing. Right?
Yeah.
Like, whatever, you want to be a quitter, go ahead, be a quitter, kind of thing. And I thought at that moment that he's going to hug her and say, nope, you're right. I'm going to see through this. But that didn't happen. And I'm like, oh man, really?
No.
Like, what's it going to take? Right. So I don't know what happened. Like, how, this is where I think the writing could have been better. This is where I think the direction could have been better. They needed a moment for him to have that switch, and we need to see that.
Mm-hmm.
Because what happens is next morning, Tommy gets Ellie, unless I'm missing anything. Am I missing anything?
I don't think so.
So it gets Ellie, they get their stuff, gear, and everything, and they go to the horse stables, and they basically getting ready to go. I just thought that wasn't, in my opinion, the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel that he had this, like, he should have had a moment to himself in a room, and we should have saw some montage or something to trigger him to go, you know what? I've got to do this. I don't care. I've got to get through this, because they should have had, like, what they went through and
Yeah.
how their relationship, something there to give the viewers a way of understanding that, okay, yeah, he's gonna go through it with her.
Yeah.
I don't know. How do you feel about that? Like, were you okay with the way it ended?
Yeah.
The way it kind of
I mean,
went that way?
compared to the game, from what I remember, it was similar. Um, where it was just like he's trying to pawn her off, and then he's just like, no, no, fuck it, whatever, I'll do it. So, but I do agree that yeah, it because I don't really remember what the turning point was. It was
It
they had
was
the
none.
argument. Yeah,
There was no tournament. It was just the next day. He just showed up at the stables there before they did,
yeah,
and I was just like, okay, well, you kind of missed the opportunity to show us why he made that change
yeah,
because he was so emotional to get Tommy to take the journey.
yeah,
He needed something to counterbalance that, where he decides to flip back again and no, 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 Tommy, I'm going to do this now.
yeah.
That flipping back, that counter, part was missing, and I thought that was, in my opinion, I think that would have been important
Hmm.
to show a little bit, spend a minute showing that
I
where
like
he's
how it's taken us 6 episodes to say something bad about the show, and it's
and,
a minor thing.
I and I,
And all we're saying is, I would have liked to see a little more of this.
yeah, like I would
Like
a little
5 minutes.
more, not less, a little
No.
more.
Mhm.
Generally, I'm talking about shows where they need to cut some areas, right? But
Yeah.
I would have loved to see a minute of more emotion, as if we haven't got enough of it.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, you're right. I am nitpicking, but I think
No,
it was
no,
an.
absolutely.
I do think it was an important part they should
Yep.
have elaborated, right?
Yeah.
So he basically says, "No, I'm going to take over this journey." And by the way, Tommy, can I borrow that gun because your woman took my other one, right?
Yeah.
So he gets the gun, which is what, an upgrade in the game, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Upgrade unlocked. Pshing.
I'm seeing that right now. It's funny because every time I get a new weapon or something, or I
Mhm.
upgrade my weapon, I'm like, okay, that's what it's like, you
Yeah.
know. So basically, get up on the horse, and then they mosey on out of there. And Tommy does say to him, "There's a place for you guys here,"
Yeah.
which I'm so badly would love to have them come back and live their merry lives after there.
Yep. He gets all his sheep.
Yeah, all the sheep he wants. But they head down and they basically go to, what place was that they ended up going to?
I don't remember. It was
University, I think it was.
yeah.
I can't remember the city now. Um, I can't remember now for the life of me.
Omaha.
Omaha. Okay,
I don't know.
so from Wyoming to Omaha, they go to the university there, and she's basically never seen a university before. So
Yeah.
it's like, this is where adults come to study, and he's basically like, some do,
Yeah.
right? Some want to experience things.
And then there was the conversation about like, oh, so you built things? He's like, yeah, I was a contractor. And then she's like, whoa, the contractor. And he's like, yeah, everyone loved us. We were contractors. We were cool. He's like, oh, that sounds really cool. And he's like, yeah, we were pretty cool. I built stuff like houses and doors,
Yeah.
fences. Pretty
And yeah,
cool.
he was very proud of
Yeah.
his trip. So they're going into this university area, and they see the Firefly logo.
Mm-hmm.
They go inside. Well, they see monkeys. Basically, by the way, they see
Yeah.
monkeys on the ground there, which I was expecting them to come in after them. I was expecting infected monkeys.
So hold on. You should do a plug while I get a bev, and I'll tell you some stuff that was in the game.
Sounds good. The plug that he's talking about is us being on multiple shows throughout the week. Uh, Today is a special day. We had a busy weekend. We weren't able to do our regular programming, but we do our Last of Us breakdown every Sunday night at 9:05 p.m. Why 9:05, you say? Because the last show on the Western Seaboard ends at 9 p.m., which gives us enough time to turn on everything, the lights and camera. So 9:05 on Sunday nights Pacific time, we do our regular Last of Us breakdown. And then on Wednesday nights, we do the Bad Batch. This is the popcorn chicken segments. So we do the Bad Batch on Wednesday nights at 9:45 p.m., where myself, Justin, and Nathan break down the Bad Batch episode. And then our A&R flagship podcast is on a Monday nights at 8:30 Pacific time. I just did it yesterday with my friend D. It's a whole lot of pop culture fun and news. We have a good time there, so come join us there. And then bi-weekly, we do a Saturday morning show called Mighty Mornings at 8:30 a.m. Pacific time. All times are in Pacific, where we talk about the 80s, 90s, and early 2000 animation and TV shows. Last week, I believe Chris, who was my co-host, he was able to run the show when I was out of town. Not last week,
Michael.
last Saturday, and Michael came in there and they talked about Reboot. So if you love the show Reboot, maybe go check that out. They talk about some of the stuff from the show Reboot, and yeah, we got lots of things planned every week. We got multiple shows, so watch us live, interact with us, ask us questions. We'd love to do that, or watch the replay. But watch us, and if you're new here, click the subscribe button and leave a like because that's how the algorithm pushes it out. And
The
we would love to,
robots.
yeah, crazy robots. But come join us, have a blast, ask us questions, and we will love to hang out with you guys. All right, you have your drink.
Yes.
All right, down to the wire we go here. So,
So the monkeys were also from the game.
okay,
In a bunch of collectibles and like side things and voice recording or voice memos or whatever that you find. See, in the game, I think it's implied that it's a similar start of the infection. There's like food source and whatever. But in the game, there were infected monkeys, and there's voice notes from one of the scientists who got bit by one of the monkeys.
oh,
Yeah.
so this was sort of like
28 days later kind of thing. Like it's slightly implied that monkeys did it.
oh, interesting. So these monkeys aren't infected because they didn't go after them.
Yeah, as far as we know.
Maybe they are, but they just don't care,
Yeah.
right? But they go into the university building. And
Right
this
when I saw
red-
monkeys, I was like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
yeah, I was like, they're gonna come after them, but they didn't. But anyways, they
Yeah.
go inside the university, and every time they're looking around for stuff, it immediately reminds me of the game.
Yeah.
Immediately,
Just looting everything.
tape, scissors, things like that, like bolts right away, right? It reminds
Tin
me-
cans.
Yeah. Um,
I wonder if we're going to see them. Do you think they have to do this at some point? Joel has to make an IED. He has to take a tin can, put a
Right.
bunch of nails in it and dynamite and just fucking throw it at somebody.
I
That
would
has
just
to
love-
happen.
I would just love to see him craft anything at this point.
Mhm.
Like get scissors and duct tape and make me, like you said, an explosive. I don't care.
Yeah.
Anything.
You got to
Anything.
MacGyver something.
And then the backpack thing that you mentioned to me, it's so obvious now for me. Like it's like, oh my god, really? Every time,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, no, I would love to see him craft something. So they basically look out the window and they see a bunch of hooligans coming.
Mhm.
They're going out the back because the horse is tied to the tree there, and they sneak out of the back and they're getting on the horse, and all of a sudden Ellie just like, Joel, look out, and then it's like a bat coming at him and kind of ducks at the last second.
Again, because he's deaf and he can't hear.
And then this is totally from the game where he just grabs a guy and
Chokes him out,
I don't
snaps his
know.
neck.
I don't know how many times I've done the game in the game already.
Yeah.
It's my go-to thing. Why waste ammo? Why try to beat up somebody and create
Yep.
noise? Just sneak up behind them and choke them out. So he chokes him out, and then all of a sudden, she looks down at him and sees. So this is the part I didn't understand how this happened. Like she sees a bat stuck inside him, a piece of bat.
No, it's not a bat. He's got a shiv in him. So
I
at
thought
some
it
point in the
Oh,
scuffle, so
okay.
he swings a bat at him, and I guess in the other hand's got a shiv. And then
okay.
yeah. But
That makes
this
sense.
is this latter part of the episode is all lifted from the game. So
yeah, so then they have the two other friends coming after them, and he pulls it out.
Yeah,
and,
like an idiot.
And she's like, get on the horse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then get on the horse, and then she basically takes charge. Oh, by the way, we missed a part.
Oh, right, where he takes a nap.
No. That part was in the beginning where he took a nap, and she woke up and she's holding a. But that basically is foreshadowing what happens near the end, where she is finally getting shooting lessons from him.
Oh yeah.
Right, and she's just like, "This is impossible. I can't shoot that thing."
He's just like, she's like, "Fuck you,
you asshole!" And it basically says "asshole." Right?
Yeah,
and he's trying to run the H there.
Yeah.
So it's that might, for a lot of people, might be like, "Oh, she's learning how to shoot a gun." That actually is more than just learning how to shoot a gun.
That's bonding.
Not only bonding, but they've gone to another level now of appreciating each other. Like, I think bonding is good, but I just think that scene really shows now they have become a close knit team.
Yeah, they're partners now. It's no longer you're the child, I have to take care of you. It's okay, let's get you more. Let's get you better at shooting because you got my back.
Yeah. This is like, we're a team now, and we're gonna see through this thing. You're more than just Kago, you're a partner of mine.
Yeah.
And I need my partner to be watching my six. And that's exactly what she did when they got on the horse. She shot a couple of times at them because and that fended them off, because they're like, "Oh shit, she's got a gun. What the we got a bat. We go, back off here, right?" And they didn't chase them because they got down, and at that point the horse stopped galloping, is just basically trotting along, and you can see Joel just like basically withering away here.
Yeah.
And like, he's on his ends, right? And I'm gonna pull up this image here if I can pull it up. I don't know if you have that image. I have it here, but
yeah, this was all lifted from the game. Like, this all exactly happens where you get stabbed. Then the kind of like this, and how they do it in the game is really cool. And in the show, they're gonna obviously be able to show a bit more. But since the game's obviously from Joel's perspective and you're playing Joel, you get stabbed, she gets you on the horse, you guys ride off into the sunset, and then the screen just goes black. And then from what I remember, there's a couple like blurry scenes where you're like kind of coming to, and you hear Ellie like freaking out, and like there's a bit of that, and then you just kind of wake up getting fixed. And I won't say anything more than that.
Yeah, I won't say anything more. I was so mad at this part right now. I'm so
Why?
I have to wait 5 more days.
Okay, yeah.
Well, the time that I saw it, actually 6 more days. I have to wait 6 more days for this. This is torture. You don't do this to people. Like, this is crazy. And yeah, here he is in the frozen tundra, basically turning blue because he's about to die. He's hemorrhaging blood. And
so this is a lesson to all you people out there. If you get stabbed, don't pull it out. Because you know what the thing that's in you is doing? Stopping you from bleeding out. So I'm sure everyone's seen those videos of like people taking pencils and like there's a plastic bag with water in it, and you put the pencil through it, and you go, okay, there's no water getting out. But then you pull it out, it's just like,
yeah.
Don't pull it out. If you get stabbed or shivved, don't pull it out.
Go to the hospital and then
go to the hospital.
Let the professionals deal with it.
Yes.
Because they could probably bring you more blood to replace the ones you're going to lose.
Yeah.
They could probably stitch you up a lot faster than you pulling it out and then going to the hospital.
Yeah.
So,
This is coming from a guy who was born in Surrey. Don't pull it out if you get stabbed.
apologize to everybody living in Surrey. I live in Surrey currently right now.
Yeah, so you can back this up.
I'm not gonna say anything.
All right, it's not the worst place in BC now.
Sure isn't the best. I'll just leave it at that. So basically, yeah, this is where the show kind of ends. And
Right, this was shot in Edmonton. Hey, if you live in Edmonton, don't pull it out if you get stabbed.
No, he doesn't mean this. He doesn't mean this. Oh man, AI Collectibles is from Edmonton. He's gonna be sending me a message.
He knows.
He knows.
He already knows this shit. He learned it in second grade. Don't pull it out if you get stabbed.
So yeah, left on a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I'm so dying to watch this.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, this has become must-see TV in my household.
This
is the only show I know that has brought all four of us together.
Yeah.
To watch. So it's become must-see TV. I can't even remember when was the last time my family got together to watch something together. I can't even remember.
Because like Game of Thrones. I mean, this isn't
my kids
per se a family
I'm not letting
show.
my kids watch Game of Thrones.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like, this isn't per se a family show, but it's, you know, teenage, young adults, acceptable.
It's not vulgar enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
Game of Thrones
and we live, and we live in the Western world, so somebody getting stabbed or shot, like fucking whatever. But Ellie's the most vulgar thing on the show.
Yeah. I don't know. I can't remember what show that we watched last together. That all of us, like, there are shows that well, no, Mandalorian. My wife doesn't care for Star Wars at all.
Yeah,
she's just not interested. But my other,
starts in 9.
It goes on fire.
We're gonna be doubling up. Wait, when does wait, when does Mandalorian?
In 2 weeks.
Yeah, but I mean, what day?
Wednesday,
March 1st. Oh, so we're doing a double Star Wars next week.
Wednesday. I don't know why they decided to do it on Wednesday. They should have done it on Fridays.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good shout because then you get double Star Wars the week.
They could have pushed the Bad Batch to Thursday and have.
Yeah, are they doing the?
Yeah, they're doing the back to back. I thought they would have moved the Bad Batch to another day.
They are.
Are they?
Yeah, they moved it to the 4th. They moved it to May the 4th. Wait. Hold on, No, hold on. This is Google. Why the fuck would I care about season 1? It's been out for 2 years.
Yeah,
February.
We and Ethan were talking about this last week during the Bad Batch. We were just like, why would they have both shows come out the same day? They should spread it out, right?
Yeah.
Because the Bad Batch still has a bunch of episodes to go still.
They do.
At least a month more, right?
That just sounds like a terrible idea. Like, why would you put 2 episodes in the same universe on the same platform in the same day?
Yeah. I was thinking either move the Bad Batch to Thursday and keep Mando on Wednesday, or move Mando to Friday and leave Bad Batch on Wednesday.
Because, I mean, it's on their own platform, so it's not like they're competing with other things coming. They're competing with themselves.
Unless they think Friday there's not enough viewers, because people generally go out on Friday nights, stuff like that.
Sure, but, yeah. Post-pandemic, people are going out
just
now.
Move it to a Thursday then,
or just do Bad Batch on like the Monday. Well, how many episodes are left in the Bad Batch? We're getting episode 10 this week. There's 16 episodes.
Yeah, so another 6 more. That's what I'm saying. Another month is going to be of this.
That's going to be weird.
I haven't heard anything yet in changes. Maybe they're still coming, but they gotta spread them out. It's ridiculous.
If they had, it's going to be weird if they have any crosstalk of characters too. It'll be nice because one's animated and one's live action, so you'll be able to discern the differences. But if like Cad Bane shows up in both of them, I'm gonna be like, I don't know the fuck which one happened. The Cad Bane showed up and he shot a laser gun and there were clones.
I don't know. It's just it's still there's still over a week to go. I'm sure something's gonna. They usually a couple of days before they usually send out the message to everybody that there's been a schedule changes. They've done it before at the last hour, but I would assume that they're gonna do some changes. Pedro's on fire, man. You go from one hot show to the next show.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't catapult this guy's career, I don't know what will.
If this doesn't win him an
Emmy for sure, right?
Yeah.
Like
absolutely.
Both supporting. Now, there's some people out there that don't like the actress that plays Ellie, and I don't care. I think
she's just great.
I think she's fine.
When I first saw the casting, I was just like, okay, she didn't really look like her. But then I saw her in the first episode, and I was like, oh, that's Ellie. Like the actor who plays Ellie, she has done, or rather, they have done a fucking phenomenal job. Like there is no suspension of disbelief needed, and like again, I've absolutely fucking loved both of those games, and they were an emotional roller coaster as much as this show has been. And the second that she shows up on screen, that Ellie's on screen in live action, I was just like, yeah, that's Ellie. Done.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I just think they're great castings, and Pedro has to be winning an award. I would be very, very disappointed if he doesn't win an award.
The range in this show of a broken Texan going through a post-apocalyptic world, losing his family one after another, and having his entire world fall apart, and him reacting and going through it like a normal human being would, and having all of this be relatable, which is insane.
Yeah.
The fact that we're seeing a guy who has, you know, just been a working class blue collar man with his daughter and his brother working construction, and then the world falls apart, and now, you know, he has to kill people and to survive, and now he's taking care of a surrogate daughter who he doesn't like and who doesn't like him, and he doesn't believe in any of this shit, and he just wants to raise sheep. And seeing that deterioration of the human psyche in 6 episodes, fuck off. Like if this motherfucker doesn't win an award, I'm never watching TV ever again.
Somebody in that show has to win something.
Mm-hmm.
Best director, picture, sound. I don't care.
Best screenplay, like something.
I don't care. Somebody
the
better
score
be
too. Oh,
score, yeah, great score too. There better be awards set out for these guys.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised if they clean house.
Yeah,
I would not be surprised.
And it's and streaming services. Well, yeah, but also too, streaming services generally take a little while to settle in, especially for like award stuff. But HBO, when they start out of the gate, like people pay attention, and like award ceremonies, they fucking pay attention to HBO. So
yeah, and HBO has been kicking ass the last decade.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've been taking
they kind of, I think HBO was one of the biggest proponents for. They were the best case scenario of one company, one network, because they weren't a streaming service first. They were, you know, a premium paid for channel. They didn't come just when you bought cable. You had to pay extra for that shit.
Yeah.
But they were kind of the catapult for a lot of streaming services, I would think, because like when Netflix started doing the streaming thing, they kind of went the HBO route, and they're like, we're going to pump money into really good original content. And they used HBO as the archetype. And then Netflix put out some amazing shows themselves. And HBO continued doing that and then started their own streaming service. And there's a lot of people who've, copycatted them, but like HBO has definitely been one of the largest names in original content, and Netflix, like, they kind of now do the shotgun approach where they just go, fuck it, here's all the money to anyone who wants it. And Netflix is known in the industry as just like, if they green light your show, they will green light 2 seasons from the get-go.
Very rarely and they cancel.
Yeah, very rarely, but like they'll automatically green light 2 seasons because they have the money. They have more money than God at this point, and they're just like, fuck it, if it'll make us money, because we just need eyes. And they're going the more YouTube approach, which is just like, we just need eyes more. But HBO has always been consistent with. They'll have like just reading through all of the shows that are happening this year. Most of them I've never heard of, but they're all probably really good.
When I hear HBO, I automatically expect the best.
Yeah.
When someone goes, hey, this new show, it's on HBO. The minute they say HBO, I sit up and go, tell me more.
Did HBO do Westworld?
Yes.
Okay.
Westworld was great in the first season, and then it went completely downhill.
No, but I've heard, because I watched the first season, and then I've watched the first season like 3 times.
I watched the first 3.
How many? What? It's on right now.
Yeah, this is, I believe, season 4.
I think I've heard season 4 is a fucking banger.
I heard the complete opposite.
Really?
I heard the complete opposite of it. It is dumpster fire.
Isn't Aaron Paul in this season?
Yeah, they canceled it, by the way.
Oh, okay.
So they're done with the show.
Okay.
The viewer rating just plummeted.
Yeah. After season 1 was a masterpiece, and it was a bookend. Like, it was a completely confined. No, it was a completely condensed. It was a story on its own. The season, and then it ended, and you're like, cool. I'm satisfied. You told me a story. And I keep bringing this up with a lot of things. Like, the UK has a wonderful ecosystem for TV shows where they go, we have a story. It's going to be 2 seasons or 1 season. And then once we're done, we're done. We're going on to another thing.
Yeah.
And they don't try and draw it out. And I think Westworld, like, second season was okay.
Second season was fine. I had no issues with second.
I was like when they went to like feudal Japan.
Yeah, it's the 3rd season. That's when you start seeing the cracks everywhere, because it looked like they ran out of material from the author.
Sure.
And they were trying to do patch-up work and change things. And when you change things, you're either going to be successful or you're going to be a dumpster fire. There's no gray area in the middle. It's either going to do well, the audience will be receptive to it, or it's going to go straight to dumpster fire. Yeah. And it went straight to dumpster fire because the audience just like, nope, that's not what I wanted. You gave me all this awesome stuff in the beginning. Now you took it away from me, and you're pushing certain characters I don't care about in the forefront.
Yeah, it's hard to start on such a high note too. Yeah.
Yeah, and so that's the end of that. But rarely do you see HBO flutter in the beginning of a season or something.
No.
It's the latter
they start
part maybe
strong.
Yeah, they come out of the gates busted out. Right?
Yeah.
Like every show that I know that I've
even ones that I don't like. I've watched.
Like, what's that one with the girl from Spider-Man? The really very I forgot it was. You know.
Oh, wait.
What's her name? The one.
The new Spider-Man.
Yeah,
Zendaya.
Zendaya, yeah. She's in the HBO show that is like people were nuts over the show.
Are you sure that wasn't Netflix?
No. Zendaya. Type it up, HBO Zendaya. You'll see it. But that show.
Oh, Euphoria.
Yeah, people went nuts over that show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, I forgot that was HBO.
Yeah,
I thought that was Netflix for some reason.
Yeah, people might know. I haven't seen it, but that's another banger that people keep telling me about.
Yep.
Like, this show is insane. You got to watch it.
Not for kids. That's not a family show.
Kids. It's not a Spider-Man. No, not Spider-Man friendly at all.
No.
And then the other one was Succession.
Succession's pretty good. Yeah.
That's a lot of people saying that's a banger of a show.
But that's the thing too, is like Succession. I was like, yeah, this is fine, but like, I just knew that it wasn't for me per se. Like, but
there's
it wasn't
an audience for it though.
No, absolutely. But it wasn't for a lack of quality or writing or directing or whatever. Like, it's a phenomenal piece of art. I'm just like, yeah, whatever.
I mean, I watched a few episodes. I'm like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
But I get what the appeal is here.
Totally.
I get
the amount of quality and care, and like heart and passion behind everything that they put. Everything that I've seen that they put out is always very apparent.
Yeah. For me, I'm like, I see the appeal for this. I see why there's a huge following for this.
Yeah.
But it's this banger after bangers for HBO, and that's the bar that they have placed themselves at. They've been doing this for so long, right?
Yeah.
Where they want the best of the best on their programming. Yeah. But yeah, this show is, I mean, I know it's early right now and it doesn't have the seasons behind it, but I've got to say, this is probably in my top 10 in HBO's of all-time shows.
I would just say shows of all time.
Oh, I don't know about that. I've got a list. Sopranos.
I also have a list, and it's some obscure ones that got canceled, but there are some. What's your favorite show of all time?
Ooh, gonna put me on the spot like that, huh?
Yep.
Oh boy. Favorite show of all time from every genre, anything of all time is Married with Children.
What?
Married with Children. There is no show on earth that gets me to laugh anytime, any day of the week. I can put on any episode.
That's a good one.
I can put on any episode and it'll make me laugh.
That's a good one.
That is so well written, that show.
That's so with what's his name? John?
No, O'Neill. I believe his name is O'Neill. Was it? Yeah. I think it's O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill. Yeah. Katie Seagal, Christina Applegate.
Yeah, like, and think about everyone except for Bud had long careers to this day. O'Neill was in Modern Family.
Who like, I love that show. I don't watch it a lot,
but that's a funny show.
What Modern Family is one of the best modern sitcoms.
It's smart comedy. It's
so
smart
good.
Comedy.
Yeah.
Very witty and smart comedy.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, and it's not a comedy that everybody will love.
No,
but I appreciate.
Well, it's like that and like Schitt's Creek.
Yeah.
Like, those are just like good examples of like, they know their place and they're fucking going hard at it.
And Schitt's Creek's another show that's a banger too.
Yep.
No, on my list, I don't think Last of Us will make it in my top 10, but it's not too far away. I'll put it that way. But yeah, no, it's
my favorite show of all time is Studio 60.
I do not know this show.
Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip. It was done by Aaron Sorkin, who did who did like The Social Network. He did West Wing. He did what's the
Studio 60 is a record album?
No, Studio 60. It's essentially like a behind the scenes drama of SNL. So not directly, but it's just like it's a late nights comedy sketch show, and it's following all of the actors and all the production, the director, the writers, and all that. Matthew Perry is the head writer. David what's his name? He's also in West Wing. Bradley Whitford.
When did this come out?
This was 2006.
Okay.
Yeah, Matthew Perry, Bradley Whitford, Sarah Paulson. I think 2, maybe 1.
Really? That's it? And you liked it?
It was. It's an Aaron Sorkin show.
This show. I think they've seen this show.
It's an Aaron Sorkin show, so the dialogue is fucking phenomenal, and Matthew Perry is like it made me love Matthew Perry, and
even
be
before you didn't like him at Friends.
well, he's fine in Friends, but like I enjoy Friends. Like I understand why it's important.
FYI, my wife's favorite show.
Yeah, but like I grew up as a Seinfeld fan, so it was just like, oh, this is like Seinfeld, but not as good. So
I apologize to everybody who's a Friends fan.
No, Friends is fine. Friends is great. But
it is no Seinfeld, my friends.
It is no Seinfeld. And this show was just like, oh, he's amazing. And like I would just watch a movie because he's in it after that. Just because I love his delivery and like his sense of humor or whatever.
Good old Canadian boy.
Yeah. And Bradley Whitford, who was in he was also in Cabin in the Woods. He was one of the people who ran the underground facility or whatever. But anyway, he was probably most notably from West Wing. But yeah, it was just like I
don't think you're gonna hear anybody else in the world say that's their favorite show.
I don't think so either. And I've shown it to a lot of people, and everyone I've shown it to is just like, "Fuck, this is really good." But it's a very, I mean, people who love Aaron Sorkin will love this show, and he's probably one of my favorite directors and writers, just because I love the camera work and the dialogue, and just how quick and witty it is, and how
you're approaching it from a technical standpoint too,
probably
because of your background, which is interesting. Like
you're looking I watched this on the air in 2006 with my parents. It would air on like ABC or something. And
I remember the show. He had a secretary or something like that too, right?
A what? Yeah. He had a couple. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember the show. Yeah, I remember.
And it's a drama, but it's very funny and like real world witty and funny, not like laugh track. Oh, here's a joke or whatever. It's very serious, but it dives into a lot of the dark stuff in a lot of, any kind of creative space. But I used to watch that, like, I think I was going to like this like kids program or something, at like the church that my family went to when I was growing up. And I would get home and we would watch Studio 60. And it was just like, I fucking love that show. And I'll still like once a year rewatch it. It's so fucking good. And I think, it only got like one season and then got canceled. And it's funny because like, what was it? 30 Rock or whatever with Amy Palmer and whatever. It's essentially that, but that is more of a sitcom. And Studio 60 should have. The Network. That's another Aaron Sorkin show where it was kind of the behind the scenes of like a TV news network or something like that. And that had not Jim Carrey, but the other Dumb and Dumber.
Oh, I know you're talking about O'Donnell.
Jeff Daniels. So it was another show that was similar. That ran for a few more seasons. I watched that too. It was fine, but yeah, no, Studio 60. It's always been my favorite TV show. I think second would probably be Breaking Bad, but
yeah, Breaking Bad's in my top 10.
Yeah,
for sure.
That was HBO too, yeah.
No, that was AMC.
Right. Yeah, AMC tried to go the HBO route, and then they shit the bed with Walking Dead. Walking Dead was good for good,
but then
a season and a half.
When you start splitting it up to like 5 different quadrants.
Well, I read the comics,
but I think they milked it too hard.
They did, absolutely.
Like this cow was shooting out dust at the end of it.
Yeah,
like I don't know. They just ran out of ideas. They're like, you know what? We ran out of ideas. We're just gonna do Walking Dead. They did try other shows. Or they tried this weird ninja world where they all are fighters from different parts of the world.
You mean Great American Ninja Warrior or whatever?
No. It was like
UFC.
no. It was not a reality show or anything like that. AMC doesn't do reality show. But it was this Asian guy. He was a warrior, and then there's this show with like a whole bunch of kung fu warriors and stuff like that. And it was just they tried really hard to pump this show, and they
Right.
even put it right after
Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead to catch some of the viewers to spill over.
Hey, you want more violence? Here's some kung fu.
Yeah, and it just didn't work out. They tried hard for 2 seasons,
Yeah.
and nobody cared. AMC just ran out of quality stuff to
Yeah.
air. That's all it was. And then
They hit it out of the park with Breaking Bad, and then 10 years later ran out of the money from it.
yeah, and Walking Dead made them a ton of money too. But
It
I
did.
think they just sat on their laurels of those 2 shows and like, yeah, these 2 shows will keep us around for 20 years. What do
Yeah.
we care? But 20 years has passed, and now
Nobody cares about them.
Nobody cares about AMC. They even have AMC Plus if you want to pay for that.
Ooh. They had Better Call Saul too, right?
Better Call Saul. It's pretty good. I would say it's actually really good.
Yeah.
I recommend it to watch people. Here's the crazy thing. The gentleman who I forgot his name, John
Lithgow.
No. He has an Italian name, but he's half African American too. He was the guy from El Polo Loco, the bad guy, the manager, the big leader.
Oh,
Polo Loco. What's his name?
you,
I forgot his name.
You mean the guy from Mandalorian?
Yes. What's his name?
Esposito. Giancarlo Esposito.
Anyways, he was interviewed recently, and he was like, "If you want the best,
Giancarlo Esposito. Yeah.
He's like, if you want the best experience from the entire world."
I just said his name the whitest I possibly could have. You mean Giancarlo Esposito?
Oh man. He basically said, if you want the best experience for Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul, he goes, watch Better Call Saul first in its entirety,
That's
and
a
then
good show.
go watch Breaking Bad after. He goes, you will lose your mind.
Yeah,
because everything just falls into place.
I've been wanting to rewatch Breaking Bad, and I'm still waiting. No, Better Call Saul is finished now, right?
Yes, it's finished.
So I might, yeah.
Year. But
so
he said it. He said in the interview, like, if you want the best experience, watch Better Call Saul from beginning to end, and then watch Breaking Bad. He goes, it is unbelievable how it all intertwines.
That's
because of brilliant writing.
Yeah. You want to know how much they milked The Walking Dead? So
5 shows.
The Walking Dead ran from 2010 to 2022. Then they got Fear the Walking Dead since 2015. Then they have Tales of the Walking Dead since 2022. So that started last year, and nobody gives a shit about that. Then they have Walking Dead Dead City, which started this year. Then they've got Walking Dead Daryl Dixon. So they're doing a prequel of that motherfucker. That's not out yet, but nobody cares about that. Then also they have, talking. They essentially have podcasts about the shows that you just watched.
Yeah. They also have a movie in the works.
Yeah, well, nobody cares about that.
I walked out of The Walking Dead the minute they killed Rick Grimes off.
Yeah, like, what's the point now?
Sorry for anybody if I ruined it for you, but look, you got 10 years of it. You should have been aware of it by now. I watched a little bit of afterwards, and I was just like, yeah,
I don't care.
Yeah, I just don't care anymore.
Yeah.
What were the?
I mean, Rick Grimes and Joel are the same person.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
And
that is.
I went. Hold on here. Let's do some. So 2010.
Are you trying to see if they copied them? But Rick becomes Joel more as he goes through the story.
Yeah.
Right? Because
the 2013. So yeah, it could. Could Rick could be an inspiration for Joel, but
Yeah.
also some like gruff bearded white dude in a post-apocalypse with a southern accent who holds a gun. At least they never made Joel. Actually, does have a pistol. He doesn't have a revolver. Actually, no, I think he might.
No, he does.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, they both wear flannel. Yeah,
It's somebody copied somebody.
yeah,
Or maybe they just came to the conclusion that everybody in the post-apocalyptic world is a southerner with a beard and a pistol.
yeah. I mean, they're not wrong. They're okay. AMC apparently. Anyway, okay, I'm going to stop talking about AMC because nobody gives a shit. So, what do you rate this episode out of 10?
I'm gonna rate this episode an 8 out of 10.
Same.
It's the lowest score I've given it, but
I think it's
a show like Willow would love to have me give it an 8 out of 10.
yeah.
So that tells you everything right there.
I think I gave the first episode an 8. I think I've given another episode an 8, but that was it might have been an 8.5.
I think 8.5 is the lowest
Yeah.
you've given it. And so
I think an 8 as well. It again, it was this and our scores are not compared to other shows. This is just in the grand scheme of this show.
Mhm.
And an 8, like it was still moving. It still tugged at your heartstrings and made you think and had great character development. But this was the least attention holding episode.
we've been so spoiled with greatness. from this
Totally.
show.
And that's a good point, actually. The last three episodes have been so fucking good
Yeah.
that even if you have an amazing episode in comparison to ones that made me like consider the duality of man and my own fucking life.
Yeah, when you start looking internally at your life from a TV show, it's done its job. It's done its job more than it should.
Yeah, and now that they're only just telling me a great compelling story with amazing characters and having consistency. Now I'm like, it didn't make me reconsider shit in my head.
Yeah, no, it's an 8 is by no means a disrespect to the episode. It just we've been so spoiled with greatness. And I honestly I think next week we're gonna be right there again in that 8.
Next week's gonna be the most stressful fucking time of your life, dog.
Oh,
it only goes up from here.
So yeah, I mean next week I'm thinking I don't think this show will get any lower than today's score.
No.
I'm just gonna go out there and say that. For a show to have everything from 8 and above.
Yeah. Well, again, this is the first episode that we've had something bad to say. The only times that I've talked poorly about the show is in a potential prediction and only going, if they go this route, I'm not going to be happy. And they never have. And they've surprised me and impressed me every step of the way. The only problem with this episode was like, that could use a little more flushing out. Like, it made sense, and I wasn't while in watching it, I wasn't like, what the fuck happened there? I was just like, in retrospect, I was like, I guess I could have used a little more context here, but I still knew what was happening. And also in that scene where Ellie was like, I heard this, blah, blah, blah. I'm still at the edge of my seat going like, oh shit. Blah, blah, blah. I wasn't like, wait a minute. How did she hear it? It's only in retrospect because I'm being clinical about, or not clinical. I'm being, I don't know words. Inspecting. I'm looking at things with a magnifying glass because I got to talk about it for 2 hours.
Cynical?
No. There's a word.
Meticulous?
Sure. We'll go with that. That's a good one.
Meticulous.
Yeah.
We're combing through everything for you.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, no, 8 out of 10. You can't complain.
No.
Man. 2 more episodes left?
How many we got?
Or is there 9 total? 8 or 9?
I could type. Oh, wait, what? 6? No.
No, we have episode 7 next week for sure.
Yeah, I
And
know.
I believe episode 8. I'm not sure if it ends at 8 or do we have a 9? I can't remember now.
There's 9. Yeah.
Okay, so whew, still got a couple more weeks to live this beautiful show.
Yeah, we got March 12th is the last episode.
Man, it hurts. It hurts.
It only goes downhill from here.
Stop it. I don't know. Let's end on a positive note today.
All right.
We will be back on our regular programming on Sunday at 9:05 this week. Today was pushed to Tuesday due to other commitments, but tomorrow we'll be back for the Bad Batch at 9:45 p.m.
I got 2 episodes to watch, actually.
Nice. Get on
I
it.
didn't watch last week's episode. Was it good? Yeah? All right, fuck it. I might watch it tonight.
We liked it. We liked it. Let's put it that
way. Good.
We liked it a lot.
I'm happy that they're continuing to do good things and it's not just
there was a
bullshit
character
episode.
Development that was needed.
Oh, yeah. Is it Omega?
Yeah, I kind of.
Okay. I'm gonna make some dinner and then I'm gonna watch it after this.
It wasn't the best, but it was an interesting episode. Let's put it this way.
The entire show has not, apart from episode 3, has not blown me away.
It's not.
But neither did season 1. Like season 1, I did not.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Season 1 didn't blow my mind either.
It was a good episode. Let's put it this way: if you're gonna go cook up a meal and you want to watch 20 minutes of fun, it was a
20 minutes,
or let's say 30 minutes, somewhere there.
It was. I want more. Yeah.
Well, you're gonna have another one in 45 minutes. The new episode.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Maybe I'll take a little longer to.
Yeah. If you watch the show at 11:30, then you'll be in time for the next one right after.
Oh, okay, that's a good show.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is our wrap for episode 6. Episode 7 this Sunday. I can't wait. Can't wait.
It's gonna be so good.
And say bye, Justin.
Bye, Justin.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you soon.